Hey, welcome to the Backwoods Gourmet. Today I'm going to show you how not to do hamburgers and hot dogs on your next backyard barbecue. Then after that, I'm going to show you a better way. So stay tuned. I've been to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of backyard barbecues over my life, and so many times, many times, whether it's in a park, a picnic, outdoor type of gathering, or whether it's just somebody's backyard, this is the scenario that I've seen hundreds and hundreds of times. I'm going to recreate it for you right here, so stay tuned. Alright, so let's go ahead and give our typical backyard hot dog and hamburger a try. You know, a lot of people say they like their hamburger and hot dogs burnt and raw. I'm all about kind of the raw with the burger. That dog, totally ruined for me. And you see how fast it burned when you just load up that grill. Let's give the burger a try. That burger is actually pretty good, but just like most people do when they do their cookout, you know, at home, they don't season it. It has no seasoning on it. It's very, very plain. I don't care how much ketchup and mustard, mayo, whatever you put on that. Still very plain, but it did cook really well because these particular burgers were ground chuck, so very, very little fat in them. So we didn't have a problem with the flare-ups, and that's probably, you know, it's getting better nowadays. You know, they're getting the burger a lot leaner, so we didn't have any flare-ups on it. It's done perfect for me. Still a little pink in the inside. So I would say that the burgers, other than seasoning, turned out pretty well. But man, that hot dog, that's some 911 right there. So I just ate, you know, a hot dog and a hamburger there, and it's pretty typical of what I've had at, you know, your typical backyard barbecue. And so yeah, the burger wasn't too bad, but I tell you, you know, you might have some problems with some of the little ones, you know, and a lot of people won't eat a burger, period, if it has any little bit of pink in there. That's because the fire was way too hot. So I'm going to show you a very small change you can make in your grill setup that's going to make this next cook come out 100 times better. So what I did was I just took half the charcoals we had in there to begin with, and I don't know, people somehow think that for some reason if you got a bag of charcoal you need the whole bag of charcoal to cook something, but you don't. So I took half of them out and scooted them all to one side. That's going to give us a safe zone, but it's also going to give us a searing zone. And you noticed I did typically what most people do also in the beginning. I did not season the grill, so we had some little bit of problem with the burger sticking and so forth. So let me show you the better way to make hamburgers and hot dogs for your next cookout. Okay, so first step, let's go ahead and rub some oil across those grill grates while they're hot. And I like to run mine you know, across the fire, so they're going to transmit heat over here to this other side, which is going to be our nice safe zone. So if anything starts getting too hot, start to look like it's going to burn or flare up or whatever, we got a place to go with it. It's right over here. When you got that whole kettle full of charcoal, there's no place to go but off the fire. So, and that's also going to lubricate the grates, get anything you know, a lot of the dirt and, well, not dirt, but, you know, old grease and stuff like that. It's going to help take that off of there. So those are nice and lubed up, and now I'm going to show you how to prep your burgers. All right, so the hot dogs you can't do a whole lot with. They're very hard to season, but man, if you're going to make a hamburger, you know, that's ground beef, right? Let's go ahead and give it a little steak seasoning. This is just your off-the-shelf Montreal steak season, a light coating on both sides. That's got salt, pepper, some garlic, and other spices in it. And you know, you just don't want to give your guests just a plain old burger. And I like to pat it into them, you know, a little bit so it gets kind of down into the meat. I do that on both sides, just kind of pat it in there. And it's going to give it a lot more flavor for your guests when it's done. Alright, so that's pretty simple. Everybody can do that. So I haven't changed any other settings on my grill. The bottom is still wide open. I still don't have the lid on it, but I've moved all the charcoal to one side and lubricated the grates. First thing I want to do is get just a little bit of color on those dogs. and then we'll come in with our burger. So they look about like that right there. We're gonna go ahead and just scoot them off over here on the other side. That's as much color as we need on them, and you can do, you know, a whole pack of these the same way. Now let's go ahead, after we scoot those off, let's go ahead and lay in our burger. So the other thing I'm going to do this time, I'm going to put my lid on. The grills come with a lid for a reason. That's going to help you contain that heat in there, and that's going to help the dogs cook and also the burgers. So also I showed you there in a typical backyard barbecue you know, situation, pouring that lighter fluid all over that charcoal. Don't do that, guys. Go get you, for the cost of 2 of those lighter fluid bottles, almost $8, $14.99 Lowe's Home Depot from the Weber store on my Amazon store. So if you haven't checked out our Amazon store, please see the link below. Every purchase down there helps us out just a little bit and then costs you not one dime more. But Weber charcoal chimney, this thing will last you 5 to 10 years depending on how much you use it. This one here, already 2 years old, not a scratch on it. Okay, so stuff a piece of charcoal bag up under here, a little paper towel, maybe drizzle a couple drops of olive oil or vegetable oil down the top, charcoal in, give it a light. Charcoal's going to be ready way faster than using that charcoal lighter method that we showed you at the beginning of the video. So we're cooking one of America's favorites for hot dogs today, ballpark franks. When they start plumping up like that, you definitely want to go ahead and take them off. All right, and I've kind of rotated them forward to backwards, but you notice it's still a beautiful color. The only color it has on it is what we put it on it right there at the beginning. Alright, so let's see how we did. You know, I can tell you what right now, the hot dogs look amazingly better than the first time around, okay? Your kid's probably not going to eat that, but they're going to look at this right here and chomp it up. So, and it's really nice and hot all the way through, okay? Our burgers, this is the first time I'm going to look at it. Let's break one open. Alright. That is like a perfect well, okay, which probably most of your guests are going to want a well. Not me, you know, if I'm over at your house and you're cooking on the grill, I'm going to tell them, just show mine to the fire a couple times and I'm good. But a lot of people want theirs well, and this method of using the indirect cooking method where you can just brown the dogs or get the grill marks on them, move them off to the side, and then keep your burgers right over that flame. Now, we were using the same charcoal for this entire cook, so that did burn down quite a bit over there on the hot side while we're doing it. But if that had been fresh charcoal, probably would have had to move those burgers over just a little bit too to finish them up. But if you just keep that in mind, get you when you break out your grill here for your next backyard cook, keep all your fire to one side. That way you always got some place to go with it if it starts getting too hot. So if you like what we're doing, please smash that like button right down there. To subscribe to our channel, you can do it right there. Hey, and check out some of our merch, going to be right up there. And for a bunch more videos of using the Weber kettle grill, it'll be right up here. We'll see you next time.